This is the Iowa weather report for Tuesday, February 26th, 2013. Now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run. This is at noon today. We have that system, that cutoff low over southeastern Missouri with the energy there. Little piece over the desert southwest as well. And at the surface we have the low right over the upper level feature over southeastern Missouri, swinging some snow up in our way. GFS has been a little too wet with this system. This shows almost the entire state covered in snow. It's likely the southeastern quarter. And then that storm moves northeastward to northwestern Ohio with the new low beginning to form in Pennsylvania. Snow likely across the eastern half of the state, maybe snow showers and a few flurries at that time, tapering off toward evening. Now, this is the probability of snow. This is through Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. This is of 2 inches of snow or more over the 48-hour period. You can see the chances of 2 inches of snow looking really good, but this too looks a little bit too, well, over, as I'd say it. This is a 4 inches of snow. Probability is very good in southeast Iowa, even decent from Dubuque down to about Mount Ayr, but I think that's a little over rambunctious. I don't think it's going to be that much in those areas. This is a 8 inches of snow, or 6 inches of snow or more, excuse me. And this shows the totals or probabilities looking, well, mediocre in the southeast part of the state, better in Missouri and Kansas. And this is the NAM. This is one of the NAM runs, the 0Z run, and you can see this looks more appropriate. You can see some decent amounts in southeast Iowa, but east central Iowa is a little bit too heavy, whereas central and northwest Iowa is light. This is another algorithm of the 0Z GFS, or the 0Z NAM, I'm sorry. And you can see the amounts really taper off into northwest Iowa. I think northwest Iowa may see a dusting, with southeast Iowa seeing something. And this is the 0Z GFS run. This is, all of these are through 48 hours, or Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. And you can see the GFS is a little too rambunctious with the snowfall. I don't think a lot of the state is going to get that much snow. And this is a different algorithm showing, well, the over-excitement of snowfall in the state. I don't think we're going to get this much snow. Probably just the southeastern quarter of the state seeing any significant snow. And this is an interesting run. This is the Ruck. This is an 18-hour run. This was at 9 p.m., so this goes through 3 p.m. this afternoon, and it shows snow in central Iowa, which doesn't look right either. So back to the GFS, as we've gone through all those runs, you can see that storm system now over New England, and the cold air, well, semi-cold air, is in place as the 540 line as well, south of the state. And you can see Friday still remaining cold, maybe a few clouds, a flurry possible. But the GFS has been a little over rambunctious with moisture around here, so all that green you see south of the state and east of the state likely not happening. Saturday, still looking cold, highs probably around 30, lows in the teens, some snow flurries in the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley, but maybe just a few clouds around here. Sunday, it starts to warm up. The temperatures will climb at least into the 30s, maybe upper 20s, with southwesterly winds ahead of the next storm system, well, significant storm system that'll be well off to our north and west at that point. Monday, start off a new work week. We have a low pressure center moving into northwestern Iowa, but it's starved for moisture, so most of that moisture in the form of snow looks to stay to our north, maybe across our northern counties. And a week from today, next Tuesday, we have the trough still over the east, not as defined as it is going to be this week, with the energy right over us and another piece off to our east. And if this is right, this would bring some snow, maybe a little bit more snow as the Gulf begins to open up. But as the Gulf begins to open up, the storm is moving away, so most of the moisture looks to be to our southeast, and that's been typical of this winter. A couple days after that, on March the 9th, we still have a decent trough, not very robust trough over the east, ridge over the south and west, namely over California, northwesterly flow around here, and it's just going to stay cool. Highs in the around 30, maybe low 30s at that. Some rain and maybe a skosh of snow well south of us and then over Canada, but nothing around here. And at the end of the forecast on March the 13th, well, the pattern's a little flatter. We still have a ridge over the west coast. Bit of a trough axis just to our north and west, but very little along it. So we could see maybe a storm system trying to form, but it looks like another dive of cold air coming down too. But the models have been really kind of all over the place at this point. Last night's satellite image showed the storm system over Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas, with the clouds streaming into the state and thunderstorms and rain over the southeast and some clouds off into the northern Rockies as well. Watch warning map from last evening. The blizzard warning starting to be dropped off across Kansas, Oklahoma. Winter storm warnings extending into far southeast Iowa. Some winter weather advisories further into the Great Lakes. Some flood issues over the south and some fog issues to our north. QPF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days through Saturday evening at 6 o'clock, showing from about nothing over the north to maybe about a half to 3/4 of an inch over the south and east. This has been dropping over the last few days.